SummerSlam is coming up this Sunday. This Sunday. I don't know if anyone has any predictions or expectations of what's coming up. I could read down the match card and we can kind of go through and see what we expect, or who knows.
Like SummerSlam is a little more special of a pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's one of the big four.
It's like the mid-season finale.
SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Survivor Series,
the Royal Rumble, and
and the greatest Royal Rumble.
Don't you ever say
we won't talk about the Saudi Arabia pay-per-view.
That sweet Saudi blood money.
I usually catch up on whatever's happening when I watch with you guys, because sometimes it's very cringy for me to see audience.
Well, let's put it out there.
To be honest, you haven't been missing. Too much. I mean, it's kind of. It's in its very wacky stages right now. With,
let's put it out there.
With no audience that anything. They're pretty much throwing any wacky idea out there right now, because we're seeing a bunch of stuff that we haven't really seen since like 1999, back when storylines just used to do absolutely fucking anything.
Shout out to Vince Russo.
Yeah, because right now is the time period where they're competing back with sports, where they don't have the audience, so now they got to compete with sports again, and they got to maintain viewership, and they also have competition now, so they got to do things they wouldn't normally do.
Such as take people's eyes out, when have we ever did that? Speaking of which, something we haven't seen in a while, I know this match card for SummerSlam 2020, we have a hair versus hair match between Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose.
Oh man!
So, wait, is this like is the loser getting their hair cut, or is it like they got to be shaved bald?
Because we had a haircut.
Yeah.
Okay, because we seen that before with Molly Holly.
Yeah.
Remember?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's start with Matt Riddle.
I guess it looks like you have to get shaved bald from what the description is saying. So
they're about to do the Amber Rose look for the ladies.
Hey.
Okay, so Sonya Deville's gonna be bald. Got it.
All right, so let's start with the first one: Matt Riddle versus King Corbin. What you guys got?
King Corbin.
I think they're gonna give Matt Riddle, a big push, starting with this a big pay-per-view win. I know he just came off some controversy not too long ago, but so I don't know if that kind of soured his push a little bit, but I don't know. King Corbin, he had a run. I think it's time for him to start, I say it was a good one.
I think
he has his limit. He hit his ceiling, and now he's
very boring. I don't see him winning this match for any reason.
He's still a decent heel.
He does his job with not getting you to dislike him, but I just dislike him not because he's a good heel, it's just because I don't find anything remotely interesting about his character.
Yeah.
Listen, King Corbin has a personality of a $2 bill. Okay, let's just put it out there. He does. Even when he had the long hair, I had no interest. I think he's just bland. Not, he's not a fan of him. I'm putting my money on Matt.
I tried to get into him, I couldn't. But as far as this match itself, with Matt Riddle just coming, hot off the heels of NXT, I could feel with this big pay-per-view giving him a good boost to start off his run on the main roster. So at least that's my prediction for winning, that match. I mean, that might be the first match. I could see that being the kickoff.
Yeah, that's definitely
that's a kickoff.
Match.
That's a kickoff match.
Yeah, I don't see it being anything crazy important. As far as the Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose, I know they've been kind of running with this feud for a little longer than I expected them to do. Because it kind of began a little bit before WrestleMania.
Yeah, I think the whole Otis storyline.
Yeah.
I think it started even way before that, actually.
You're right.
They've been going for a little longer than I thought.
Yeah, because I remember they had this angle in the Royal Rumble when Otis came out and helped Mandy Rose. So it was going on even before that.
That was kind of like around the start of it.
Yeah.
So now I don't know if this is going to be the culmination of it, or the big blow up from it at this one of the big pay-per-views and a typical hair versus hair match. I wish the stipulation was something different, or maybe no stipulation at all. I don't think they haven't had a singles match against each other really. So I just feel like throwing this weird gimmick at the end of it will kind of depending on if it's a good match with this whole shaving the person's head at the end kind of makes me sour.
I think it's a
bit.
way for them to change Mandy Rose's. I mean, not Mandy Rose. Sonya Deville's look and give it like a little flair to the match.
That seems to be the thing when turning heel in WWE. You gotta get a haircut.
or do you think it's because, I mean, Mandy Rose wrestling skills in the ring are they're not as up to par as some of the others in the women's division. So do you think that they did the stipulation match because you think that Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose can't carry like an Extreme Rules match or like or like a tables match or something of that stipulation?
I mean, with those two, I feel like they could. I don't feel like the chemistry would be too off for them to really, they're good friends. I can see them spending a lot of time, behind the scenes trying to make those matches work. I feel like it would be able to. I don't think, like I said, I kind of wish it were something else other than a hair versus hair thing, like whether it was tables or no DQ or, any sort of that matter, but I don't know.
Yeah, this is if it hasn't happened in a while, this is a pretty high stakes match. I just want to see if it's a hard commit where it's like shaving head all the way.
Sometimes at the end they'll cut a little bit of hair, and then the next night, and then whatever the next televised event, you'll see a completely different hairstyle.
But it's more styled.
Yeah, it's like like they took it to a professional.
Yeah.
Or they like just leave some patches so they look bad.
They'll just style it up a little bit.
Yeah, I just want to see the hard commit of it. I want to see that.
I got a question. Is that guy Apollo Crews related to Terry Crews in any way?
I mean,
What, you want to body slam him for all the dumb stuff he's been saying?
with them being both black, bald, and in shape, sure. Other than that, I don't think they have any relation. As far as this match for the United States Championship,
I do miss MVP.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. They seem to be starting some of this new faction with him, Bobby Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin. Yeah.
But here's the thing: why do they always I swear, Vince McMahon has a hard on for putting all the black wrestlers in one faction. Like this, he's like, hey, that's good stuff right there. That's good shit. I mean, put all the black guys together.
Well, he was trying to, originally they were saying
New Day. Now you have this group. You have the Street Profits. So yeah.
But he was trying to rebuild the Nation of Domination, but they felt like it wasn't the time period.
Please don't.
So luckily he did it, and luckily we're seeing MVP versus Apollo Crews.
I don't put it past Vince McMahon to capitalize off of Black Lives Matter with this nonsense. I swear he's gonna rebuild the Nation of Domination. He's gonna have Bobby Lashley come out with a Black Lives Matter T-shirt. He's gonna talk about how the man puts them down and all. This is so crazy. I
can see them doing that. Like I was saying earlier, he's in the era of all this crazy shit. Without an audience to really react to anything, I feel like he's going, full on with all his wild ideas that he probably wanted to do for so long. So if we see a new nation, or I know they probably nixed it by now, like you said. Let's hope. But I don't know. If they really want to start something with this faction, I can see MVP winning.
And then
start something. Then maybe, if depending on who wins the tag team match, they'll probably face. Maybe they'll go for a thing where they have all the girls in this faction. That would be a good one, maybe.
And then they'll definitely clash heads with Kofi Kingston and the other boys.
Exactly.
So that would be that could end up being a good paper.
No, I don't want to see that.
WrestleMania match.
Oh, you don't want to see Bloods versus Crips?
I'm not even a fan of MVP. I don't want to see that. I'm not a fan of Lashley
Benjamin. He's been cast aside. He's been in another.
He's the most relevant now than he's been in years with MVP. Luckily, so.
I would like to see him get more opportunities. So.
I mean, I feel like this faction would have been perfect if Leo Rush was still around.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
This would have been very good if Leo Rush was still around. I think it would have been working perfectly. Because he's amazing talent on his own. Like he would have been carrying this like on his back with him on the mic and then his in-ring ability. Mm-hmm. Like I think he would have. They should have. If he was in it, they should have made him the focal point.
If they could back Adam Cole in the Undisputed Era, they could have did that.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
MVP seems like the placeholder for him.
Exactly. What they can work with. I say they bring Leo back. Like screw it all. He's too good of a talent to just really let go over whatever background issues they were having with his ego apparently and whatever. But anyway, speaking of tag team matches, that's the next one. The Raw Tag Team Championship match with the Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza.
Yeah, roll those R's, my friend.
Now they've been doing this little angle where they've had, Zelina Vega, Poison, what's one?
Montez Ford.
Yes.
Montez Ford.
Yeah, so now they revealed that she actually did poison him. So now, this little.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they had a little clip on Raw where they they've been looking through archives and they found the video of her backstage poisoning like the little red Solo cup that
the red Solo. He comes out. He never. But is anything in that cup? He never spills anything.
I don't know if it's supposed to mean that it's lean because.
But lean's in the styrofoam cup though. That's like the double styrofoam thing.
I don't know.
That's so 2014. Let's be honest.
Well, Vince is the most out of touch person in sports entertainment, so I'm not surprised by that.
Here's the thing I want to say about this match. Who was the not Montez Ford? Who was the partner? Okay, so this is what I mean. It was kind of pointing that it was going to be Zelina Vega, but I think would have been nice, and it would have been more in favor of Montez Ford if his own partner poisoned him. Even though it's a hard sell because they're the tag team champion.
I feel like it's too early to kind of.
It's too early.
Between.
True, but I think it's a storyline that they can, maybe not in that way, but they can explore because I do, and this is nothing against his partner, it was D'Angelo.
Yeah.
I really think Montez Ford could have a great single run.
Definitely.
He's a freaking nature in the ring. He has amazing promo skills.
Yeah.
You can put him and his wife, who's equally just as amazing as him, together in a faction. I think he would have a great solo run. I even think his partner could have one too. But I just think I'm not a fan of Street Profits, but I am a fan of Montez Ford.
Yeah.
Because I do think that he is somebody that WWE could push and be a top guy in the company.
I'm gonna go a step further and give you a hot take. I think he could be the next Rock.
Hot takes.
Charisma wise,
No one.
he has the potential to be in the shoes. He can propel in that same, it's the same. If he does a solo run like Big E's doing currently, and he gets mic time, he can kind of be like that new modern day Rock.
He can be the Roman Reigns.
Hate me in the comments.
Dislike.
You don't know nothing.
There will never ever be anyone like The Rock ever. And I agree with him, but
F's in the chat for the time spot.
All right, and then next up we have debuting in his first actual WWE official wrestling match, Seth Rollins versus Dominic Mysterio, or should it be Dominic Guerrero? Because
Is he
Wait, he's with Guerrero?
Is he related to?
They had that story.
I remember that custody match that Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio had. I think Eddie Guerrero won that. I think he won custody of him. So I think his name should be Dominic Guerrero.
AJ, fact check that.
Yeah, can we?
Eddie Guerrero.
I would know.
Who has custody of him?
Who has Well, Eddie Guerrero was dead, so technically it was.
Okay, there's still Vicky Guerrero. Either way, he won custody.
Would you want Vicky Guerrero raising you?
Excuse me.
You just imagine getting in trouble in the Guerrero household. Excuse me. Like, oh fuck. Oh crap! I did it again.
Can you remind us of the name that we gave Eddie Guerrero? You guys gave.
I did not give
on episode 2. Not get canceled.
Rey Mysterio won the match.
Rey Mysterio.
He won the.
Rey Mysterio. Okay, never mind. Sorry, Dominic
So
Mysterio.
my prediction is Rey Mysterio's son, of course. I think this is his first match. Why not give him a win against Seth Rollins?
I feel like it'll be a win. I don't know if it'll be a clean win.
Yeah,
I think it'll be from some kind of assistance.
I can see that.
I don't see them. It's gonna make Seth Rollins look. I'm not a Seth Rollins fan, but it'll make him look pretty weak losing to a rookie. I think them adding that as a street fight will kind of help balance it. Because let's be honest, if he was taking on Seth Rollins normally in a regular match, it should be him getting dominated. It should be a no contest. I mean, he just took his father's eye out. I don't see why in a street fight he shouldn't do any worse. You know what I mean? So,
I felt like WWE was just like, hey, give Vince Russo a call. We need a storyline, a ridiculous storyline. Anybody's listening, if you don't know who Vince Russo is, Vince Russo, once upon a time in the Attitude Era, was one of the top writers and head writers of the Attitude Era, and he is responsible for all the craziness of 1999 and Attitude Era. If you don't believe me, go and research it. You would see. Let's just say, what was it Mae Young?
My favorite being Mae Young giving birth to
a hand.
An entire full-grown man's hand. You know, even at 9 years old, I'm just like,
how?
Why?
Entertainment. This is entertainment.
Even better, don't forget also.
You gotta get butts in the seats, man. You gotta try anything.
They were desperate. I think this was probably in the middle of the ratings.
But it was memorable. I say it worked.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The fact that we're still talking about it.
Oh yeah, it worked for sure.
Like,
But
I mean, whether it's for the
it's ridiculous.
good reasons or
I'm
not.
gonna have to look up that video later.
You also look up.
You gotta see.
Go ahead.
Rey Mysterio's eyes coming out. You
can also look at Al Snow eating his own dog. Remember that storyline?
Cheddar.
Pepper steak.
That is weird.
But here's the funny part. I was like, that looks oddly enough like beef and broccoli.
Yeah.
For a couple years I stopped eating beef and broccoli. I was like, I don't know, but yeah, I remember that storyline. And then at the funeral, he like took his father's casket, and then Big Show jumped on it.
Drove off in the casket.
Yeah.
1999. We'll have a whole episode on 99.
1999.
Sure.
We were all around that at that time.
We were.
Definitely.
And then the next two is the ones that I'm very curious about, because I'm not sure which way they will go with it. It's kind of they've been very unpredictable when it comes to a lot of stuff in the women's division, I want to say, which is what's been keeping me kind of interested in everything going on. So we have Bayley as the SmackDown Women's Championship versus Asuka, and then also in that same night we have Sasha Banks defending her Raw Women's Championship also against Asuka. So I don't know if we're gonna go with the angle where Asuka wins both titles. They kind of be seeming they love doing this in the women's division, having somebody with two belts at one time ever since they started with Becky.
So she's supposed to fight these two matches like back to back?
Yeah. So Bayley's is gonna have the first match, and then she's right after is the match with Sasha Banks.
I feel like she's gonna win one of them. I'm gonna put my money on Bayley because Bayley's been how many days she's been champion?
Over 400.
400, yeah. So it's time for her to give that belt up. Okay, so this is what I think should happen. I think Asuka should beat Bayley and get the belt, and I think that Sasha should retain, but Bayley challenges Sasha Banks for the Raw Women's title, breaking up that faction. Even though I don't want that faction to break up. But here's the thing. The women's division on the outside looks like it's great, but it's really doing terribly because it's showing that Vince does not have, and I'm talking about Vince McMahon, he does not have any kind of faith for any of the women on that roster, because it all boils down to the four horsewomen of the WWE, which is Charlotte, Becky, who was on maternity leave, Bayley, and Sasha Banks. And you have, they're still not pushing Shayna Baszler. They don't know what they're doing with Nia Jax.
She came out and said whoever wins, whatever, she's challenging. So they've been having
they brought
Shayna Baszler and Asuka kind of go back
and
and forth, and then with Nia Jax getting in between. So I can see it going with some triple threat angle where it's Nia versus Shayna Baszler versus Asuka. I'm assuming she will.
But here's the thing, though, and
win at least the SmackDowns.
And here's the thing, and I've been saying this for a while. I think them having a women's tag team title was the wrong move, because Vince does not give a rat's ass about
care about tag teams.
Exactly. What they should have did was had some sort of mid-card belt, like a women's intercontinental belt or United States or whatever, because it at least would give other of the talent in the women's division, like say like a Ruby Riott or a Nia Jax, or even Nia Jax is still getting a lot of screen time, but someone like Naomi to get back in the picture, you know what I mean? It gives them a chance to still be in the picture and to have a belt. Like, they need some sort of secondary belt, in my opinion.
I agree with that. But I feel like there's enough women in the division for them to actually do stuff with the tag team. When Bayley and Sasha won it, they had them going around on SmackDown, Raw, and NXT defending, which I thought, was pretty decent. But now that Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan, have kind of reconciled their differences in the team, though, I think you know, that could be a good angle we can go with the tag team belts, and then we also still have the Iconics. You know,
yeah, but
but
we don't want to hold division as just tag teams, mixed tag teams though. You know what I mean?
We don't, you know, but I feel like at least give them something, because most of the focus is always going to be on the 4 horsewomen. Like,
absolutely.
You know, so I mean, I feel like with Charlotte and Becky out right now, that maybe if at least one of them loses, then maybe we start getting to see some of those other women in the title picture. Naomi's been getting a lot of support with the whole Naomi deserves better.
Yeah.
So I can see, you know, her getting back into the title picture at least. But I don't know. I feel like there's still, you know, some stuff they can still do with the women's tag team, you know, belt, because they haven't really defended it against anyone since.
But I mean, the roster is stacked though. And here's the thing. I'm not even talking about SmackDown and Raw, but look at NXT. Look at
There's
the
a
talent.
lot. They have a lot.
Look at the talent that they have down in the NXT.
I mean, that's
women's
why we
division.
have Raw Underground.
Oh God.
So let's fast
I'm gonna need
forward.
another drink for that one.
Let's fast forward to the next time.
Man, what's the next
God.
thing?
Ronda Rousey helped the momentum of women's wrestling, and then she also halted
I think
it
she
because
brought
when
more
she
people
left,
to watch.
She did, but
when
when
she
the
left,
world
there was a
leader
vacuum, and then Becky Lynch, and there was a further vacuum, and it seems like they don't know what to do right now.
Ronda is the average.
I still like the tag team belts because they did so much work for the women's, and they deserve something out of it. So, not having belts then you have people just not doing anything that don't have a championship and trying to rise up. Like the belts don't have to be like center of attention, but being there is a good idea.
They do need, you know, some better feuds, you know.
And then eventually they might even have something like an intercontinental version of women's championship.
I still think they need like a secondary mid-card belt. in my opinion.
And Vince doesn't want anyone that Triple H is bringing in to be good still. It seems like he's still holding on to that. So NXT
that's
people are going to be...
Everyone they're bringing in is from
harder
NXT. I think I don't think Vince watches NXT like that.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like when they come over and
He's
cross,
disinterested.
they're just a whole different superstar.
But if it was his project,
Yeah.
how much of a fast track would they got up to?
Exactly. So the two main events we have is Braun Strowman versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre.
And repeats.
Yeah.
There's a lot of repeats.
Wait, but no. See, this is Braun Strowman versus The
Fiend.
Last time it was
Fiend.
just
It was Bray Wyatt.
Wow.
Yeah. Is he gonna, if he beats the Fiend, will the next one be Husky Harris?
I don't know how I feel about being called the Fiend in this day and age.
He made it work. He made it
The
work.
Fiend is the biggest character in wrestling since The Undertaker.
The Fiend is the best
He made it work.
character.
I was gonna say
In wrestling.
even as the name, like
When I saw the
He is
Firefly House, I was
He
like,
is my
"Oh."
he is my
I love
favorite. Yeah, he is my favorite current WWE superstar on the roster right now. I was a fan of him even back when he had the whole Wyatt family. I was a big fan of him. So I'm putting my money on the Fiend only because I'm a fan of him, even though I do like Braun Strowman. But I'm going for the Fiend.
I'm putting my money on the Fiend too. I think it's just gonna be one of those kind of weird matches though, where it's just like. It's gonna be very unconventional. They're gonna have all these antics, gimmicks going around. Fiend matches are never just regular one-on-one matches. They always have some.
And he's really taking
thing.
advantage of COVID and all these cuts and all these videos, video wrestling.
Mm-hmm. So they're gonna have some
recorded.
Yeah, it's the whole match. I wouldn't be surprised. It's 90% pre-recorded material, with like one body slam or one.
I still didn't get the last match because who was the winner?
Oh, which one?
The one that
the one they had at the Extreme Horror Show.
The swamp match.
The swamp.
Oh, Braun Strowman was the one.
But he got pulled into like the water. He got pulled into the lake.
Still has
And then
the
the
title.
Fiend came out. Oh, he still has the title. Okay.
Okay.
So like I said, it's probably gonna be one of those.
That's how you can tell we
same
didn't watch
things.
Raw the next
See,
day.
I think
I
they're
think
gonna
the only
make.
difference is they're gonna bring in Alexa Bliss to gotta be the Sister
Sister Abigail,
Abigail.
yeah.
So I think they're gonna go with that.
I mean, essentially, Braun Strowman is holding the belt until Roman Reigns decides to come back.
I like the idea of them bringing like Alexa. I think she's the perfect fit for him because they kind of did play off the whole chemistry and everything that her and Braun Strowman when they were Team Little Big and all that. So I think it's a good angle to go with. And I can see her becoming like the little pawn of the Fiend. I don't know if they're gonna give her a mask. Maybe they'll go back to giving her like her Harley Quinn look. She could kind of be that character. I mean, his mask is, let's be honest, is based off Joker's mask from
when he cut his face off.
Yeah.
Was that definitely him?
This one, it was a similar name, I think. The first
I
one
thought it was definitely. Maybe I'm wrong.
I forget.
Something like that.
But
Let us know in the comment section.
don't let us know. Stay out of the comment
You
section.
cannot be here and not know the name of that comic.
guys are at a shared universe and you don't even know which storyline.
There's comic book stuff all
Somebody
around
quickly,
you.
You could just look in a book. It's right behind you.
Seriously, I'm gonna get roasted into these comics.
Oh boy.
Listen, I don't care about some 13-year-old kid or some 50-year-old
We'll
guy
edit
and his
it
mother
and we'll put it on the
in his
screen.
mother's basement eating hot Cheetos and drinking Mountain Dew Code Red to the this is not right. First off, let's bring
I
it
feel
back.
like
to
it
this.
really might
Unless,
just
unless
be on
if
the
he
wall
becomes a
somewhere.
member. Unless if he
Just look
becomes
at
a
the wall,
member.
hold on.
$4.99.
Like they have to understand at the same time they get mad at don't worry, we're just like you. Like there's no difference. Like, we're the exact same. Like,
So when is this supposed to?
this is this
air?
Sunday.
This Sunday.
This is this Sunday.
Nice.
The weird thing about this, they're following it up with another pay-per-view right after. Payback, I think it's called.
I think
I
so.
think is a week or two afterwards. So we're pretty
That's
much having
hard.
like two pay-per-views right back to back with each other, which
So we might not see like the end of the storylines pretty much for SummerSlam, or at least some of them.
Exactly.
So like, they'll probably continue into Payback. So the last match was Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton.
When was the last time you seen
don't
Randy
know.
Orton in a main?
August 30th. So yeah, we get
Last time I seen Randy Orton was in a
main.
meme when
I
he,
still like him. I still like Doug.
I mean, as far as that match, I mean, I'm not too big on it. I mean, I think it would be a good way if they start, because it looks like they kind of been starting to bring back the Legend Killer Randy Orton.
Yeah,
I think they're trying to kind of like reinvent that character. So I can see him winning and then going with that angle.
And then Edge coming back to take the title. Oh my.
Oh, that's a big one.
That's good. I can see that
Oh
happening.
God, don't get him started.
But I feel
No, I
like
think that's good booking. I don't think Vince McMahon is going to go with that, but that's perfect booking.
if they
right
want to
there.
give Edge one last title run, I feel like it would be this. They can win it off Randy Orton. We'll have another small run as his last time as champion before he like hangs it up completely.
Well, I did say that Randy Orton should have at least one more run before he fully retires.
But
Yeah.
I don't see Drew McIntyre losing the title just yet.
Nah, I agree with him. I agree
So
with him.
that I think that might continue into Payback, and then maybe
Doesn't-
Randy Orton's wins somehow.
That's it
like-
there.
Which is gonna be what, a week after? August 30th? Is that a week?
30th,
Is that a week
yeah.
after?
Nah.
Or back
Yeah,
to
basically.
Why don't they just call it back to back? That was
That's literally a week. Like, I felt like they messed up on the
They're-
scheduling this year.
They
They
don't
were
take
like,
that watch. That's the next one. They
Yeah,
go,
yeah,
"Oh, damn."
They still have Backlash. There's a lot of back.
I don't know. It's weird. So
Oh, man.
we'll see. Like I think you were saying, like a lot of things from this won't be wrapped up until that extension. This better not be a long pay-per-view then. We better not be there for like over 3 hours, like seeing this. If that's the case, we're gonna have probably a couple of rematches at Payback.
And,
Payback.
on average, how much is like a pay-per-view for WWE? Like,
There's a
How much do you
subscription.
So
gotta pay?
it's
now.
subscription
okay.
based.
Yeah, $10 a month. WWE subscription, get all the pay-per-views, past and present. Blah, blah, blah.
and the free version is like not with the pay-per-view, right?
I don't think so.
back in the day when you guys were watching a lot of these pay-per-views, like how'd you get it?
You had to order that
Yeah,
shit.
order on cable.
For almost like $40.
You had to
know?
no. What you had to do first was like, all right, let me see if I did all my homework. Let me make sure I
Yeah,
cleaned
that's
everything,
all the time.
and kiss your parents' butt for them to spend $50.
I would have to come to school and hear about it. Like, oh,
Cause there was a lot.
Oh,
there
you
was a
were
lot
that
of
kid?
time- I didn't. Yeah, I basically was only ever able to order like the big four.
one.
Yeah.
Like those are when I was the ones I wanted to see the most. I could like there was one time maybe like I asked my mom, yo, can you order Unforgiven? And
I
she'd be like, "Okay,
did.
sure."
Fun fact,
You
I
know.
did order the very first In Your House.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like
I did order the first In Your House, but it was always the main four in my household that I was only able to order.
it's like now it like you said and like you said I wouldn't know until you went to school and somebody else seen the pay-per-view, or you had to wait till 9 o'clock
Yep.
that night or
9 o'clock-
Monday Night Raw
Yup.
to find out.
to see
And
the
a lot-
still image. with
Exactly.
commentary.
You didn't get the video. You just got the.
Oh.
You know.
And
You-
honestly, I can't.
And then if there was blood, they would put it in black
White
and
and
white,
white.
which they still do.
And I can't, like, kids growing up now, when Brock Lesnar wrestles, which is every big pay-per-view or whenever he wrestles, it's like that kid that never seen Brock Lesnar's match because he can't order the pay-per-view. They just know he's that big monster character. Like,
who is that guy?
who is this guy? What is his finishing move?
I know, right?
Because,
Never
like,
even heard of him until he turns on WWE like 2K.
Right.
Wow, did you hear that? UFC star Brock Lesnar is starting to wrestle right now. Like,
Yikes.